Therefore, na ati uchritam, not too high that I lose my balance also, that my mind gets distracted because of that. Na ati neecham also. Don't say that, no, I am very humble. Bharat ji, I have heard in Ramayana that he used to dig the ground and then, he used to do tapas and all. So I will also dig. I will go. Na ati neecham. It need not be just on the floor also. If you need a little bit of, some soft asana, that asana also is said what kind of asana it should be used. So na ati uchritam, na ati neecham. Not too low that it is not comfortable, not too high. So it has to be a sukhasana. It has to be comfortably. I should be able to sit. Comfortable does not mean that in that comfort only I am lost. Nowhere, no extreme. So this is just na ati uchritam, na ati neecham. And what should be, how the asana should be, that also has been mentioned. Chaila, Ajina, Kusha, Uttaram. Uttaram means one above the other. What? These three things. Chaila means a cloth. Below that cloth has to be Ajina. Ajina here is the skin or a hide of some animal and all they used to use. And Kusha is a grass, a specific grass that is used for various rituals also. They are a little sharp type of, they are not thorny, but they are a little sharp. That grass is also used for a lot of rituals. So now at the base, the kusha grass has to be spread, on top of it the hide, on top of it a cloth, and then sit on it. Now we may say, so all these things we don't have, so we can't do anything, we can't practice meditation. You have to understand the purpose of all this also. What does the grass do? The grass helps in insulating. So if the ground is very cold or very warm, so it insulates. Even we all know, we have studied science. So this whole earth also has a electromagnetic field. So it kind of insulates, breaks the circuit. So when I am sitting, it is not taking away my energy. So that insulation part is done by the grass. Then next is hide. Now people used to sit in the forests, in the caves and all these places. There used to be these small insects and all would crawl up and all. And now any insect crawling up and all, it's a disturbance. So when they put the hide, and they never used to kill animals. It is not that they would hunt animals and then take the hide and sit. Sometimes some animal, because of age or natural reasons, when they die, and then the hide, sometimes after many years it is sometimes found and all, they just wash it, clean it, and they used to use it as a seat. Even Swami Taponji Maharaj has used it. His thing, what he used, is also there in our archives. And so the hide is actually to restrict the insects from crawling up. So the hide stops that, because it's a of another animal, so then they don't easily climb upon that height. So that helps in that. And chaila means the cloth, a soft cloth. So that cloth, how does cloth help? It makes the seat soft. So it is not that pokiness of the grass or the hide and all that is kind of covered, and it becomes a comfortable seat. Now these layers also ensure that it is not very hard and it is not very soft. So it is moderately soft or firm. So this kind of seat, now if we understand the purpose, if we can fulfill this purpose, then any seat that fulfills this purpose is okay. So can I put a pillow? If it is fulfilling this purpose, it's okay. But if it is a fluffy pillow which is going to keep me wobbly, then that is no good. But if it is something that is, it is a sthiram asanam, the asana also has to be steady. If I'm sitting on a chair, the chair also has to be steady. It should not, like, I should not feel that I will fall, or I should not feel uncomfortable. I should not feel lack of balance, or it keeps on moving, it keeps on making some noise, and creaky, screechy noise and all. That should not happen. It should not, nothing should disturb me when I am taking up this practice. So all this detail, see, nowhere he has, Bhagavan has ever indicated japa you should do like this, or yajna you should do yajna, fourth chapter, so many yajnas he said, but nowhere preparation he has talked so much in detail about no other sadhana, because Bhagavan also knows this is something that's so subtle and it's the highest. So we have to prepare ourselves in such a way that our mind doesn't get distracted anywhere else, it doesn't get caught up anywhere else. We are able to completely invest the mind where it has to be. So, na ati uchritam, na ati neecham, chaila jina kushottaram. So, top, chaila, then ajina, that is hide, and kusha is the grass. So, this way. They're practicing some dance or something. I don't know. Tatra. So when this is happening, this is not a good place to practice meditation. Because dhum, 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 dhum happening. That is why early in the morning. So early in the morning, nobody is going to get up and dance. So we say, okay, that is a good time. So time and place, both in combination, should help us have solitude, no disturbance, our mind, senses, everything can focus at that time. So this is all, that combination is important. Otherwise, 24/7, anytime we can practice this. But still, we find in many, many places, many scriptures, it is said that early in the morning, it is good to do it. Why early in the morning? Most important point, yes, early in the morning has its own merit, no doubt about it. But the most important point also is that there is no other disturbance at that time. So I sit in a steady, soft seat, and tatra, seated on such a seat, what should I do? I sit down. Then tatra ekagram manah kritva. Focus the mind, make it single pointed. So, if not single pointed, what the mind can become? Ekagra means single pointed. Eka, single, agra, point. So, if it is not ekagra, then what can it be? There are two possibilities. One possibility is it becomes anekagra. Anekagra means facing too many different things, scattered. So, to gather the mind from all these things, that is why it is said, Yata chittendriya kriyaha. Chitta indriya, mind and senses. Kriya, the activities of the mind and senses. Yata, withdraw from all of those. So if the senses are engaged in something, then it has become, the mind has become anekagra, gone to various places and scattered in different places. So gather it. Now, when this gathering happens, and we do this gathering even before knowing about meditation, we do it every night before going to bed. We gather everything. So that anekagra mind, we gather the mind from all these different occupations, we gather it. But then what happens? Once I gather it, it becomes shunyagra. It is gathered, but it is not focusing on anything. So then the mind gets the signal, time to sleep. So then there is no thought. Shunyagra. So from anekagra, multi-pronged mind, it becomes completely sleeping mind. In between these two states is that ekagra mind, where it has been withdrawn from the occupations of the world, the different objects and experiences. It has been withdrawn, but it has not gone to sleep. But where is it? Ekagram. It has become single pointed, means it has to be directed and invested in something. And that is why Puja Gurudev always said that if we detect any wrong habits or unhealthy habits in ourselves, we negate them is good. Giving up wrong habits is good, but it has to be substituted with something else. Means if I have withdrawn my mind from all the wanderings, I have to invest it somewhere. If I don't do that, it will sleep. So it is not anekagra, it is not shunyagra, it is ekagra. तत्र एकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यत चित्तेन्द्रिय क्रियः, having this mind totally focused in that self after withdrawing it from all its activities external, upavishyasane yunjat, seated on that asanam, this is what you do, and yunjat, engage yourself in this yogam yunjat. This is the practice of meditation one should engage in. Acha, what will I get? That what will I get thought also has to go. Because that also is, I am engaging my mind in something. No, but I am genuinely asking what will happen? What should be my purpose? Because some purpose I will have to, give my mind. Otherwise, if my I just tell my mind, you have to do it, that's all. The mind will say, but how will I know I am doing it correctly? How will I know I am in the right direction? Uh, the mind also has to be given some little bit of direction that okay, you you have to reach there. So what is my purpose? So initially, this practice of meditation is for atma vishuddhaye, further cleansing oneself for our own purity. So it is the purpose of practicing meditation by choosing the right spot and having the right seat and sitting and withdrawing the mind from its various activities and investing it single pointedly on the self. What is the immediate gain is further purification of the mind. Already, purification is required as a pre qualification for doing this. But once I start this practice also, what is happening is further purification of mind is only happening initially. Suddenly I just sit down because sometimes what happens is 2 3 days we sit down and do nothing is happening. 2 3 days, what will happen? We have practiced the opposite of it for so many, not years, lifetimes. And suddenly in 2 3 days, how will things change? It will need its own time. So I have to be patient with myself. So Atma Vishuddhaye, for self purification. And what kind of purification? Already mind has been pure. You said that first we have to do karma yoga, and through karma yoga mind becomes pure. Then what purification are we talking about? Mind does become pure. Mind does become single pointed to a great extent. But here, as we keep doing this, there are deeper vasanas, deeper impressions, so many different deeper habits, the wrong notions that I have been living with without even knowing that these things are inside. It all gets, as Puja Gurudev would call it, that these vasanas, which are like seeds that can give rise to various lifetimes, various births, they are roasted in the white heat of meditation. These are the expressions that Puja Gurudev uses. This these seeds are roasted means what? Then they are incapable of producing any result further. So this kind of uh, result or outcome, if at all we want to call it, but this is what happens to us initially. All the deep rooted vasanas and all these things, they all slowly get dissolved, they all get diffused, they all depart. So all these, you know, deep And sometimes they may come as thoughts in the mind and leave. Sometimes it kind of, suddenly we start wondering, I never thought like this. Why such thoughts are coming in my mind? They are all inside. It is like when we start having medicines, sometimes we vomit also. Sometimes, something comes out. I said, what is all this was inside me? But only when it comes out, I understand all this was inside me. It is better that it is out now. Uh, So, all cleansing, further cleansing happens. Atma Vishuddhaya. Then, then here Bhagavan says how to sit. You sit there and try and focus your mind, withdraw it and invest. But then, what will help this whole activity, this effort? What will help? How to sit? Postural guidance also. What details Bhagavan has got? How should be our posture when we are sitting? This is something very important for us. So he's saying in verse number 13, Samam Kaya Shiro Grivam Dharayanna Chalam Sthiraha Samprekshya Nasikagram Swam Dishaschanavalokayan. How to sit? What should be the posture like? The back, neck, head in one straight line. Samam Kaya Shiro Grivam. Head, Shiras. Griva, neck. Kaya, the back. So this Samam, aligned and not stressfully aligned. Huh? Not that way. This is no alignment. This is actually giving more stress. So aligned means in a relaxed manner, keeping it straight, perpendicular to the ground. Samam. So it should be relaxed yet straight. If we have practiced sitting, with a curved back, when we try to sit straight, initially that becomes a painful experience. But once I start practicing sitting straight, after some time, the back getting curved becomes painful because that's how the back gets strained. And same way, nowadays, even so many physiotherapists and, what is it, orthopedic surgeons, they also advise that this is the right way of standing, sitting, etc. And then when they read Gita, say, oh, exactly, this is what we also are advising. So this is a very basic thing. Even for the neck, it is said, especially when we are using all these gadgets, whether phone or laptops or anything, we tend to, bring the head forward, and it is not very healthy. So it is always advised that take it back. So then what happens? It is aligned, but again, not very tight. It has to be in a relaxed position, but backwards, not front. Because we sometimes do this or do this. So what happens is it is straining the neck. So even for good health, all these things are important. So how much more for meditation? Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan achalam. So when it is straight, aligned and relaxed, but still it can keep moving. Achalam, still. Because I may keep it straight, but then keep on moving. So sometimes there's some have to do. So no movement, sthiram, achalam and sthiraha. Sthiraha means steady, steady without movement, relaxed and aligned. This way one has to sit. Bhagavan is even teaching us how to sit. And not only sit, this is a good posture even while we are standing, even while we are walking. This is a good posture to be. And when we go to these grooming schools and those courses for grooming, so there all they teach these things only. Samam kaya shiro grivam. They don't say these, they don't use these words, but this is what they say when you walk. People have these courses before weddings and all, how to walk through the aisle. So they should have the back, neck, and head has to be in one straight line, has to be relaxed, so steadily. That only Bhagwan is saying. For wedding, you are doing this is wedding with the Paramatma, going and meeting yourself. Such a wonderful preparation. Samam kaya shirogrivam dharayan achalam sthiraha. The second line sometimes is misunderstood often. Sampreksha nasikagram swam dishascha anavalokayan. Dishascha anavalokayan, not looking here and there. So before saying that, he's saying sampreksha, looking, focusing, eyes, nasikagram swam, one's own tip of the nose. So sometimes they say tip of the nose is here. Some say no, this is the tip of the nose. No, whatever this or this, it doesn't matter. But definitely not with your eyes open. Because Gurudev would say if this has to be taken literally, you can't meditate, you will only have headache. Because if you, that is not the point. It is not supposed to be literally done. Shankaracharya ji also has said the same thing, that you have to understand eva means as though you are looking at the tip of the nose. Means your, although the eyelids are closed, but the eyes are also not fluttering here and there. Because when the eyelids are closed, also sometimes we, because of the agitated mind, our eyeballs keep moving. So that is why I'm saying don't look here and there. And if at all, even if your eyes open, it should be just straight. Means as though you are looking at the tip of the nose and not looking here and there. Dishascha anavalokayan. So it has to be, it doesn't have to be taken literally that you have to look at the focus on the tip of the nose with your eyes. It is not that way. It is just to keep the gaze straight and relaxed and not looking here or there. So this is also a way of withdrawing the mind. So the body is relaxed, it is well aligned, it is steady, it is still. The eyes are also steady and still without moving here and there. They are facing the front. Although the eyelids are closed, the eyes are also relaxed. In this manner, you sit. On all this, I am ready now. I can do all these things. Said, wait. These are all easier part of the preparation. There are some internal preparations also to be done. Oh, internal means what? I have to eat some medicine. You have some special meditation capsules. You take this capsule half an hour before you want to meditate, and then you sit down. Internally, you will get all that spiritual energy. If we imagine something like that comes up in the market, it may come also. You never know. But anyway, here internal preparation means what should be my state of mind, because without that all this about the external place, the seat, the body, the senses, everything has been told. Now what should be the state of mind? So now next verse, it's a very very beautiful verse of preparing our mind for this practice of meditation. The 14th verse, prashantatma vigatabhihi ब्रह्मचारी व्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य मच्चित्तः युक्त आसीत मत्परः. Prashantatma, most important, the mind has to be peaceful. So, when the mind is agitated, this practice is not possible. The mind has to be peaceful. Peaceful means it should not be preoccupied with something or the other. Even as simple as if I had some to do list and if I have not completed it, that also can obstruct my practice of meditation. Because I am sitting there and then the mind is constantly thinking, oh, that is not done. Oh, how long it is? Oh, I sit every day for half an hour, but I think today it is longer than, and it will be half a minute only. But I say, I think half an hour is over. Let me get back to that work. I have to finish that task. It will not allow me only to do anything. So, Prashant, this is also another reason why it is advised to do it early in the morning. Because we have not got into that activity mode. So before that only you practice. So then the mind is more peaceful, more calm, more available. Prashantatma. Second, very important is Vigata Bhihi, means free from fear. Now, what happens is I am sitting in my own home in front of the altar and trying to practice this meditation as per the guidance in the scriptures. Okay, then why should I fear? The fear is of the unknown, because that which is known will not create fear. That which is unknown only will create fear. I always start having questions: what will happen now? What is this? So, for example, a small little insect, if it lands here, small little insect, I have never seen this insect, and I look at it. Now, because I do not know what it does, there will be a, it may be called as caution, but that caution is actually a milder form of fear only. That what will it do? I don't know. Can it fly? Can it sting? Is it poisonous? How fast is it? I don't know. It is just like little tiny thing. But once I know what it is, then that knowledge removes my doubts or my fear. So this fear is coming where there is an unknown territory. Now going within is completely unknown territory because I've never been there. I have never met myself. So I do feel, what is this? And how am I going to go there? After giving up all that is familiar. That is the gamble here. I am giving up everything that is familiar for something that I do not know also. There will be fear. And especially when we find that nothing is happening or something is happening, but I don't know whether it is the right thing or not. So there will be lot of questions, lot of fear. So how will I get help out of in this situation? With great faith. Faith in the scriptures, faith in the Guru. I say, I am following whatever the Guru has instructed. I am doing the best I can. And I have faith in Bhagwan that if I am going somewhere in a wrong direction, he will correct my path. So I have so much of faith. This faith will help me free myself from fear. You have heard of this story? This little girl in a drowning ship. So everyone was running helter skelter. Said, "What happened? You are not afraid? The ship is sinking." Uh, Why should I be afraid? My father is the captain. He is there with me. Why should I be afraid? So much of faith that there is no fear. I may not know how my father will help me. I may not know whether my father is going to reach me before I also drown with this. I don't know, but I have faith that he is there. He is the captain of the ship and he is there to protect me. Why should I worry? There's no fear, there's no doubt. So even I am going into the unknown territory of reaching the self. I'm going into a dark tunnel maybe, but I have faith. Faith in the words of the scriptures, words of the Guru, faith in God. Then Vigatabhi. And how will I gain such kind of faith? How will I gain such kind of devotion? I have to be doing sadhana before that. So this Prashantatma Vigatabhi, both these, peace, being peaceful and also free from fear and doubts, is actually a long-term sadhana that will lead me to this state. It is not that I morning I do one mala japa, okay, now I am peaceful. It will not happen. It has to be a consistent practice to reach here also. So to reach that peaceful state of mind, to reach that complete faith where there is no fear, there is no doubt, I have to be practicing, I have to be uh, performing sadhana, and this is where bhakti comes to my help. Prashantatma Vigatabhi. Next, Brahmachari Vrate Sthitah. Such a person should be firm in the vow of celibacy. Brahmacharya. The one who is firm in the vow of Brahmacharya is called a Brahmachari. In the Brahmachari Vrata, this person should be. Oh, but then we are all Grahasthis. How will we be in Brahmachari Vrata? Brahmachari Vrata means what? The word Brahmachari does not mean unmarried only. Brahmachari means the one who is trying to gain Brahman, Supreme. The one who is preparing himself or just intent on just gaining that Supreme knowledge, one who is capable of doing that. That is called Brahmachari. And what is Brahmacharya? Brahmacharya is not just controlling the sexual urge alone. Brahmacharya means to be able to conserve my energies by controlling all my sense organs and my organs of action. Everything to be under control. And I may not, okay, I may not be a brahmachari, I may be a grahasti or a vanaprastha or something, but brahmachari vrata means what? That for that time when I am practicing, that time my relationship is only with that Brahman, that self, and nobody else. This is called brahmachari vrata. Where brahmachari means, if we say, if it is a student, the student is a student only in relation to the teacher, and there is no other relationship existing for that student. Similarly, here also, when I am pursuing this meditation and I am trying to get abidance in the self, my relationship is only with that supreme self and nothing else. No other relationship. Brahmachari vrate sthitah. If I can sit down like that, I am not related to anybody. It sometimes sounds very rude. What is this? I have so many relatives and all. I have a family. How can I say that? For that half an hour that I am sitting, no other relation. Because as soon as I acknowledge any relationship, I become that role, and as soon as that role comes in, my mind goes there. So if I become a mother or a father, then my mind will go to the child. If I become a brother or a sister, my mind will go to the sibling. If I become a friend, my mind will go to the friend. So whatever I become, whatever relationship I acknowledge, my mind will go there. So if I want to make the mind ekagra, single pointed, in that self pursuit, then I should cut off all the relationship for that time at least. Brahmachari vrate sthitah. On the seat of meditation, I am not related to anyone. And such a person only will be able to attain manas sanyamya. The mind is withdrawn, completely under control, is not running here and there through the sense organs. Matchittaha yukta asita matparaha. Matchittaha matparaha. Matchittaha, mind is invested in me, means there is love for me. And matparaha means there is, I consider that self only as the supreme. Here Bhagavan is saying Matchitta Matparaha means the one whose mind is in me and intellect is in me. Me means it is not about one form Krishna. When he is saying here me in Bhagavad Gita, he is talking as the self. And he is saying the one whose mind is completely absorbed in the self, and the intellect also is absorbed in the self. What does it mean by mind and intellect being absorbed in the self? Often what happens is what we love we don't value, and what we value we don't love. Family we love, workplace we value. So we go to the office taking the family for granted, but we crib there because we don't love it. I am not saying this is not a generalization or stereotyping, but this is just for an example sake that this is something I value, so I show up. But this is something I love, so my heart is still there. So I'm pulled apart. So I look for weekends where I can be with my family. And there, if I get an office call, I feel very bad. But I still take the call. Why? Because I value it. Here, Shankaracharya ji is given this example, that bhavati kaschit ragi stri chittaha natu striyam paratvena grannati. He says there can be a very attached family man who loves his wife so much but doesn't consider the wife to be important. So then, kim tarhi, Shankaracharya ji says, then who does he consider important? Rajanam Mahadevam. He considers the king or the lord to be greater, to be important, valuable. So someone who is loving the wife so much but taking her for granted because no value. What is value? King, government, leaders. That is more valuable. See, I am not saying that this is not valuable and this is not loved. But what we love, we need to associate value to it. And what we value, we need to love it. Then this integration of mind and intellect happens in one place. Here Bhagavan is saying, if you choose me through mind, that is love, and through intellect, that is value, only then you will be able to attain. So for meditation also, my mind has to be invested in the self with love, and my intellect also should value that attainment of the self. So both these, when they are invested here, and this is what further going further in the 12th chapter, Bhagavan says this is bhakti. So there he says, Mayeva mana adatsva, mai buddhim nivesha. Same thing here is mat chittaha mat paraha. One who considers me to be the supreme and one who loves me the most. Such a person only, yukta asita, such a person only sit down there and will be able to practice this meditation. So this is the internal conditions that one has to uh, ensure so that we get any success in this path. So now if I do this, what will I get? So he is just indicating Yunjanevam sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasah shantim nirvana paramam matsamsthamadhigacchati. Evam yunjan, in this way, one who practices meditation, sada atmanam means continuously, means consistently and regularly, one who practices this meditation. Evam means in this way, the way it has been advised to, guided. Yogi niyata manasaha. This yogi who has controlled his mind and is applying his mind in the pursuit of this abidance in the self consistently for a long period of time, the way it has been guided, such a person, what does he attain? Shantim nirvana paramam mat samstham. This supreme peace, which is equated with supreme liberation, nirvana paramam shantim, one gets. How? Mat samstham. By abiding in me. Me means here as the self, Bhagavan is speaking. That this abidance in the self gives this practitioner, this yogi, the supreme peace, which is called as liberation. So, what is this meditation capable of? Capable of blessing us with this supreme liberation, this such peace, which Puja Gurudev always used to refer to or quote the Bible saying, peace that passeth all understanding. That supreme peace, which is beyond the scope of the mind and intellect. It is not a particular state, but it is me, my nature. That is what one attains. Bhagwan, I have decided now no sleeping, no food, no wasting time. I am just going to meditate 24/7 and very soon I am going to get it. Bhagwan saying, you will not get it. Why? Who will not get it and who will get it? We'll just read the verses, then we'll take up. Natyashnatastu yogosti न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. Any person who is in extremes of anything will not succeed on this path. So too much eating, not eating at all, not available. Too much sleeping, no. Not sleeping at all, not available. Too much exercising, going around, that also not. Sitting in one place, couch potato, no, that also not available. So it has to be all yukta, means in moderation, as required. If it is adequate amount of food, rest, exercise, etc., such a person can succeed in this, on this path. And it is true for health also, good health also. So this part, like the previous part, physiotherapists and orthopedic surgeons used, this part is used, this part of the Gita, this chapter is used by doctors. Right? Moderate. Then everything, health is good. Swasthyo bhavati harshadaha. Yogo bhavati dukkha. So we'll take that up tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.